Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Here, we share tips, tricks, and ideas to help you live more sustainably. So, have you ever thought about the potential of your kitchen leftovers? What if I told you that the food scraps you throw away every day could actually be your garden's best friend? Today, we're walking you through a step-by-step guide to turning those kitchen scraps into nutrient-packed compost for your plants. It's not just amazing for your garden, it's also a small but meaningful step toward a healthier planet. So, before you toss out those leftovers, think again. If you're into gardening and plants, this is such an awesome way to help your garden thrive. With just a little patience and the right approach, you can transform those scraps into valuable nutrients that'll make your plants happy and save you money on chemical fertilizers. Let's get started. Composting is an age-old technique, but it's making a comeback and is more important than ever. Why? Because by recycling organic materials, we can create nutrient-rich soil that not only promotes healthy plant growth, but also significantly reduces the amount of waste going to landfill. Basically, composting is a natural process in which organic materials like kitchen scraps are converted into a dark, loose, nutrient-rich substance called compost. This is the ideal source of nutrients to improve soil, help plants grow healthier, and even reduce your reliance on chemical fertilizers. The best thing about composting kitchen scraps is that you're not only reducing your carbon footprint, but you're also using something that was previously seemingly useless to create a valuable resource for your garden. Sounds good, right? Let's take a step-by-step look at the composting process to get started on this sustainable gardening journey. To start your kitchen waste composting journey, the first thing we need to do is collect the right materials. What you throw away every day turns out to be a great source of nutrients for plants. So, what exactly do we need to prepare? First are vegetable scraps, including peels, cores, or any parts you don't use in the cooking process. Next are fruit scraps, such as apple peels, cores, overripe bananas, or orange peels. Coffee grounds are also useful, as they provide a large amount of nitrogen for the compost. Also, don't forget tea bags, as long as they are made from natural fibers, and eggshells, which are a great source of calcium for the soil. However, there are a few things you should avoid putting in your compost: meat, dairy products, or oily foods. Not only do these items smell bad, they can also attract pests, which can disrupt the composting process. Be sure to collect the right types of waste for a highly effective composting process best. Let's prepare the ingredients. There are many options to consider, from simple bins to more convenient and modern tipping bins. If you have a large space, an outdoor compost bin is ideal, especially if you are dealing with large amounts of waste. On the other hand, if you live in an apartment or have a small kitchen, a mini compost bin or a countertop bin will be the right solution. Alternatively, you can also make your own compost bin by making use of available materials such as plastic bins or simply an old styrofoam box. The important thing is to make sure that the bin or composting area has good airflow to promote natural decomposition. If you use a bin with a lid, it will be an advantage because it helps keep odors to a minimum and prevents unwanted pests from entering. Choose the type of bin that suits your space and needs to start the composting process in the most convenient way. When you start filling up your compost bin, one super important step you don't want to skip is layering your materials. This is the best way to make sure your compost breaks down smoothly and efficiently. Start with a base layer of coarse materials, like small branches, straw, or anything similar. This layer creates space for airflow, which is essential for the decomposition process. Next, you'll want to alternate between green and brown layers. Green materials are things like veggie scraps, coffee grounds, or anything fresh and rich in nitrogen. Brown materials, on the other hand, are things like dried leaves, which provide carbon for the mix. And that's it for layering. Once that's done, you're ready to move on to the next steps in taking care of your compost bin. Let's keep going. To have a truly productive and healthy compost, regular maintenance is essential. So what do we need to do? First, turn your compost periodically, about every few weeks. This helps aerate the inside, providing oxygen for the microorganisms to work on and speed up the decomposition process. Next is the issue of moisture. Your compost should feel like a moist sponge, not too dry, not too wet. If you notice that your compost is feeling dry, add a little more water or increase the amount of green materials, such as vegetable scraps or coffee grounds. Conversely, if your compost is too wet, add dry materials, such as dry leaves, shredded cardboard, or newspaper. Finally, pay attention to the temperature. A well-balanced and active compost pile will have a warm temperature inside. This is a sign that the microorganisms are hard at work breaking down the materials. After a few weeks to a few months, depending on the conditions and care, your compost will be ready to use. When it's fully decomposed, you'll notice it has a dark color, a crumbly texture, and a pleasant earthy smell, all signs that it's reached its ideal maturity. To harvest your compost, simply sift it through a compost bin and remove the large, uncomposted pieces. The finished compost will be very fine and ready to use. You can now apply it directly to your garden beds or planters. This compost will improve the soil structure, help it retain moisture better, and provide all the nutrients your plants need to grow healthy and lush. The final step is to use your homemade compost in the garden. You can mix it into your garden beds. Use it as a top dressing for mature plants, or mix it into potting soil for potted plants. This natural fertilizer will enrich the soil, help improve soil structure, and promote healthier plant growth. By applying the method of composting kitchen waste, we not only reduce landfill waste, but also create a sustainable source of nutrients for plants. This simple but effective method not only benefits your garden, but also contributes significantly to building a greener environment. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to receiving your composting experiences, as well as any questions you would like to discuss. Leave your comments in the comment section below. If you find this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Together, we will contribute to building a more sustainable future for a healthy planet and a green garden.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop.